back. As you can see, I'm going to be doing some camera work today, so we've got 2 cameras running.
And we are going to see some handheld mathematical devices. We have them all laid out for us right here, and I think this is going to be exciting. All right.
Awesome.
Show us what you know.
All right. Well, this is a slide rule, and it was invented in the 1700s.
Wow.
It was very popular all the way through the 1960s, getting into the 1970s, before calculators took over. But this was used for engineering, and it could do all your basic computations. So,
can you hold it up so Bridget can see?
Yeah, ooh, look at that.
yeah. So if you slide it here, so a 1 is over the 2, that means you're multiplying by 2.
Ah.
And so you could see here the 2 and the 4, the 3 and the 6, and the 4 and
clever.
the 8. Yeah, and so it's based on logarithms. And so logarithms were invented by John Napier. And we use logarithms today in the Richter scale. So how earthquakes are measured as a logarithmic scale. So it's proportional. So if you see the distance here between 1 and 2, it's the same as the distance here between 2 and 4, and the same distance between 4 and 8.
Oh, cool.
And so also decibels. So when you hear about how loud airplanes are or music, it's measured in decibels, and those are logarithmic scales as well.
That's very cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not used anymore. they're in museums, but they were very valuable. This is sort of one of the first calculators back from the 1970s, and the notation is called Polish postfix notation. And so it was used at a time, again, back in the 70s when computers had limited space, and so it limits the number of keys that you have to press to make calculations. So for example, if I want to multiply 4 times 8, I do 4, enter, 8 times, and it's 32. So that's what the reverse part means. You do the operation at the end after the numbers.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so that was popular in the 70s and early 80s. And then, of course, you may have seen graphing calculators,
I
which
have one of those.
which are used in most high schools and colleges now. Also ACT exam, SAT exam, AP classes. And so these were revolutionary in the late 80s because you can now start seeing graphs being made.
Yep.
Right? And so you could see connections between equations and graphs, tables of values. So it really helps, again, students understand better and make sense of mathematics, which is what we need to do a lot more
That
of.
little calculator got me through the ACT.
Absolutely. And this is called a reckon rec.
All right.
Right, this is invented in the Netherlands.
Oh.
This was handmade by one of the professors at Metro that I work with. And there's 2 rows of 10 beads, and colored purple or yellow. And so if you wanted to add, let's say, 9 plus 8, young kids can see, oh, I have 5 and 5. It's 10, and then 4 and 3 is 7. So that's 17. Or they can see 9 plus 9 is 18, minus 1 is 17. So they can use different strategies to make sense of numbers, and then they can see that numbers are made up of smaller numbers. And it gives all kids the opportunity to share their thinking. I think a lot of what we've done in the past is we've made kids think only in one way, and therefore a lot of kids don't think they're good at math because they didn't do it the teacher's way or understand another way. But if we allow them to do their own thinking, it becomes a lot more that they can do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. And then this sort of last tool is really interesting because it's something that pilots used a while back before there were all the instrument panels in airplanes. And so it's sort of, again, a handheld, but you can do your speed, you can do your distance, you can figure out fuel, how much is left. As you can see, it's circular because we live in a 3D world.
Yeah.
And so trigonometry is involved as well. And you just turn the dials, and again, comes in very handy, and you can do what you need to do very quickly.
Cool. Very, very cool. Well, these are all just so awesome. I mean,
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time, but thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Catch us on Facebook and Twitter. You can see
Yeah.
this interview and the many more we've done. So
Please check out all of our awesome stuff
Yeah.
on the web and keep following us both on television and on YouTube. And yeah, it's been really fun today. I
and
love
this
math,
is all
and I'm
super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
We really enjoy it when we have folks who like mathematics, but we
yeah.
also want to help promote that everyone can learn
Yeah.
mathematics. There is no such thing as a person who's not a math person.
yeah,
Okay?
of course.
Yes.
So you guys can help with that also and
awesome.
share your passion
Yes.
for it.
Math.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so
and
much.
finishing
You
up
are
for today.
welcome. This has
I'm
been great
Una.
to be
I'm
here.
Bridget.